was born and raised in a town that changes lives. It's a place where fortunes are won and lost in the span of a single heartbeat, and a place where people go to great lengths to test where they stand in luck and in love. My hometown of Las Vegas, Nevada is built upon the art of risk and the thrill of uncertainty. Thus, I was shaped by the strange and familiar rhythm of this world and by the not-so-quiet hum of possibility. My parents have always worked in casinos, and from an early age, I watched as people placed their bets, grasping for their piece of the magic and reaching for their chance at something greater. But despite growing up in a city that thrives on gambling, I actually never learned how. Not a single hand and not a single game. I'd always been a cautious person, always risk-averse and convinced that the safest bet was sometimes no bet. I believed that control was the key to success and that absolute certainty set a foolproof foundation for a good life. But this past semester, I took a class called Religion and Gambling. And in one of our first readings, I was struck by the quote, "Gamblers gamble because it provides them a hand-to-hand encounter with fate. To make a wager is to call out to the universe, to ask in the form of a playful ritual, where do I stand? Where do I stand?" I asked myself the same question when I first walked through the gates of this campus. My wager was getting on a plane with 2 suitcases and a twin XL comforter, but it was also learning to find comfort in a place with no guarantees, where failure was possible, and where the outcome of my story would be entirely uncertain. Where do I stand? In the leap of faith that we've all taken, we have been gambling all along, not in the way that my mom, my dad, or the Las Vegas city mayor might define it, but in a way that furthers us along on our unwritten journey through life. Every decision that we make is a wager on the unknown. Every dream we dare to pursue, every passion we choose to embrace, and every time we commit to loving, creating, and believing, we are rolling the dice, hoping that something beautiful will emerge from the uncertainty. Now, as we stand on the precipice of our futures, we must ask ourselves, what are we willing to risk? I hope that we risk everything for passion, the ideas that ignite something within us. Those are the risks that are worth taking. The world may try to convince us that practicality is the only currency of success, but in my experience, true fulfillment exists in the pursuit of what moves us. It exists when we have the audacity to create without the assurance of reward. I found my own fulfillment when I started Everybody Chalks, a passion project that's helped me contribute moments of goodness to the lives of those who pass by. By creating heartfelt temporary art pieces near campus landmarks, I strove to inspire gentle reflections on friendship, perseverance, and goodwill, offering a fresh source of comfort in everyday life. If people chose to live in the moment during their routine pilgrimages to class or to work, I hoped that my simple chalk drawings of Garfield or Snoopy or Curious George, with thoughtful phrases from my favorite books and poems and songs, could stir something within them. I hoped that I could inspire them to access the compassion, connection, and optimism that we often lose touch with as we grow up. My risk was only $25 in sidewalk chalk and a couple of sunburns, but my reward was the many possible small and beautiful moments of impact that colors and kind words just off the beaten path can have on strangers if they choose to notice. That being said, I hope we risk everything for kindness. Kindness is an act of defiance in a world that often mistakes cynicism for wisdom. It rejects the complacency and the convenience of apathy. It is a bet placed not on immediate return, but on the belief that generosity and compassion can shape the world in ways that we may never see. And that is the nature of risk. It's not always grand, nor is it always measured in immediate success. Sometimes the greatest risks that we take are the smallest of gestures, like offering kindness without expectation, creating something without certainty of its reception, or daring to believe in the goodness of the world even when it seems easier to doubt. By approaching life in this way, let's step forward boldly. Not because we're certain of where we will land, but because we trust in the leap itself. Let's discover where we stand by placing our bets on passion, on kindness, and on each other. And if there's a mark that you want to make on the world, whether it's in chalk or in stone, I urge you, make the mark. because the greatest tragedy is not in losing, it's in never daring to play. Congratulations, Emory University, class of 2025.